Hello, welcome to New Rose Glow. This is day 162. I'm doing Annabelle 7-Step Formula to Success, and this is my second try at this video. For those of you who are there for the first one, congratulations, you get to witness some bloopers. I wanted to take a moment out and just answer some fun questions about myself so that you can get to know me a little bit better. You're welcome to add your own questions in the comments section, and I'll answer them. I'll go ahead and start off with some that were already made by other YouTubers. And the first question is, where are you from? I'm living in Atlanta, Georgia. And a lot of people, when they ask where I'm from, I just say Atlanta, Georgia. Where were you born? A little bit different. Brooklyn, New York. So I like to say that I'm technically from Brooklyn because I technically was born there, but I only stayed for about 2 weeks. And then my family was living in Germany, so we went off to Germany again. Where did you grow up? I grew up all over the place. My father was in the military, so we moved from country to country, from state to state. But most of my time was spent in Georgia. Not so much in Atlanta, but just in Georgia. Who did you look up to when you were growing up? Dominique Dawes. Does anyone know this famous gymnastic athlete? She is an inspiration to me because she's one of the most renowned Black gymnasts that I had ever seen when I was younger. And at that time, I had already learned a lot of negative things about my appearance, and she made me feel like I could do more than I was told that I could. So that made me feel really good. Hey, Abby. See, Abby is here. What are your best characteristics? I will say my favorite characteristic about myself is that I'm very supportive. I would love to say that I was a leader and that I can corral people together, but I'm best at playing a supportive role and helping other people be great at what they do. So that's my favorite characteristic. If I were to think of more, I would say that I'm pretty upbeat. I think those two are pretty good. What is the next one? What are your favorite things about yourself? Well, I love that I'm tall. I am 5'9". I used to be 5'10". Interesting fact. I had a car accident that gave me spinal compression, and it took me down just a little bit. So now I'm technically 5'9", but I used to be 5'10". I am mostly positive. So when bad things happen, I try to see the brighter side of it. And I also love that I love to learn and that I'm really curious. Oh, hey, Seacon Talks. It's good to see you. And you remember Dominique Dawes. Yes, she was a huge part of my childhood. Which of your parents are you closest to? So this is a really easy one because only one of my parents is alive. That's my mom, so I'm closest to my mom. Which of your parents are you more like? Well, I could say that there is a close mix between my mom and my dad, but I will have to go with my mom. My mom has an entrepreneurial spirit just the way I do, and she also does YouTube. So I think I'm more like my mom now. Are you of Liberian descent? Asks Seacon Talks. I am not. I'm actually of Guyanese descent. So there's a country called Guyana at the top of South America, and that's where my family's from. Are your grandparents still married? Well, I only have one living grandparent, and so technically she's not married anymore, but both my grandparents were married. French or British Guyana? British Guyana. And Play with Daisy says, love your hair, earrings, and top. Thank you so much. This is actually a full dress. This is my Lupita Nyong'o dress. And my earrings are from the Iona Parris collection. They're Iona Parris SeaShell collection, to be specific, but I love SeaShell earrings. You look like you smell pretty. Thank you. I did put on perfume today. What relative was important to you growing up and why? I will say my aunt is probably the most important relative that I had growing up because she really supported all my strangeness. I was into a lot of arts and crafts and just putting that all over myself as well. So making my own clothes, doing my hair in funky styles, and she was all for it. So I really have to thank her for being so supportive of that. What is one thing that you've never revealed to your parents? Ooh, that's a juicy one. So it used to be this channel. It used to be that I was on YouTube and doing Instagram stuff, but more recently, my mother got a suggestion in her YouTube for my video. So she is very much so aware of my videos now, and she's seen them. And I'm a tiny bit mortified, but I'm okay. I didn't put anything out that's really embarrassing. It's just the fact that something that I thought was really private is now public and really public. Like my family can see it. What was the best part of your childhood? The best part of my childhood, hmm, the first thing that was in my mind is all the candy. I really, really was obsessed with candy, and I got to try a lot of different kinds of candy from around the world, and I really enjoyed that. That was magical. I'm trying to pronounce this correctly. This is Zizile, um, Sibaya. I sincerely apologize for butchering your name. Sincerely. Are my romantic relationships improving? Right now, they are stagnant. I don't feel like I have as much as I'd like to offer because I'm still not the weight I want to be. I'm still learning different hairstyles. My skin just broke out. I have so many excuses as to why I'm not ready. What do you call your grandparents? I have one grandparent and I call her Granny. It's kind of funny. There are some old shows where the grandma is called Granny, and it's said in a very southern accent. So we call her that after those shows. What is your best physical feature? I have very long nail beds, and I like that. What is your biggest accomplishment? I would say animating on television shows, definitely. I have had a lot of opportunities in my life, but those opportunities have definitely pushed me forward the most in my career. So I can't say thank you enough for the people that helped make that possible. What is your biggest fear? Hands down, being abducted. Just the fact that somebody else would have control over me and I wouldn't know what was going to happen next, that's the scariest. Since you have been on your journey, have you felt as though your personal value has increased and your self worth? Oh, definitely. It definitely has. I didn't have the lowest self esteem before, but now I feel so much more valuable as a human being. I've learned from the examples that I've seen from other women. I see them valuing themselves, I see them treating themselves well and expecting other people to treat them well. And on the level that I just didn't think was, um, I guess, as acceptable from society for you to expect such high quality treatment from people. But when I see other people, especially other women, demanding to be treated well and treating themselves well, it makes me want to do the same. So I feel like my value must be increased based on their value, or at least their perception of their value. Cyclone Talk says, in my opinion, it's nice to talk to guys even when you're not at your perfect goal. It's kind of like YouTube. You'll get better at communicating with them. Very true. I still talk to people, not in a romantic sense, but in a friendship sense. So I maintain relationships with people that I think are closer than friendship. But I'm not actually going out and finding a partner or interested in anyone like a partner. Though I probably should be practicing so that I'm not weird or awkward later on. So you were absolutely right. Since you've learned so much, have you noticed other women who have low standards? I have. And it's shocking because there are times when I thought that what they're doing or how they feel about themselves was normal. And now I am so blown away with the idea of participating in the kind of activities that they do, or um, looking at myself, or letting people treat me in certain ways. There's so many things that I just never will go back to again. What is your biggest regret? And my biggest regret in my entire life would have to be my education and not planning my life out a lot better when I was an adolescent. I feel like if I had more time or more guidance, more resources, then I could have more adequately put together a life plan and followed a path. I'm now at a time in my life where I'm venturing into different kind of opportunities, and I'm not really a fan of that. I really like knowing what you're going to do and then going for it and staying with that for the rest of your life. So the fact that I'm in a place where I'm considering changing careers and making these shifts and changes, it makes me feel like the original plan wasn't put in place well enough. And I know that technology changes things and culture changes things, but I still feel like if you have a solid plan, at least your direction should be consistent. What is your eye color? It is dark brown. What inspires you? The biggest inspirations for me are stories of triumph against great odds. So if you've ever seen that movie, The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith, I love that movie. I love that he was down on his luck, things kept going wrong, and I definitely relate to just like things going wrong and then wrong and then wrong. And then he kept trying, and there was this mercy granted to him, and he got the job, and he was able to start an amazingly successful career. Maybe that hits a little too close to home for me, but that movie really speaks to me, and stories like that really speak to me. Now that I'm leveling up, I notice the same thing, especially when women apologize all the time. Yes, I used to be Miss I'm sorry. Anything that went on, even if it didn't relate to me, I'd just immediately go, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. So I definitely stopped doing that. Who is your favorite actor? Is Samuel L. Jackson. I love him. Any movie that he's in, I will go see. And who's your favorite actress? Tika Sumpter. I just love seeing her on screen. I was watching her since she was doing soap opera television. And now that she has that new show she's doing, Mixed-ish, I just can't get enough. What would you say to your 12-year-old self? I would say be healthier. Focus on health. That's really important. When I was 12, I was focused on feeling good. So anything that made me feel good, I would, do positive things like writing poetry, doing sports. But if I were to really think about it, I would say that my eating habits were insanely poor. I ate nothing but candy. So rarely would I eat an actual meal. And I would love to go back in time and say, candy is not a food. Please just eat food and make sure it's healthy food. I think that if I ate healthier as a youth, I would have thought clearer and I would have maybe done better in the long run if I just started out with a stronger footing. Love the hair. What's the brand of hair again? This is Dream Bay Beauty Tools, and I will put the link in the description once this video is over. This hair is wonderful. I literally woke up like this. I love that I don't have to do anything to it. I don't have to spray it. I don't have to tease it. I just put my bonnet on at night, and when I wake up, I pull my hair out, and it looks like this. Another question is, who is your favorite celebrity? So this one is kind of a tie because I love Gabrielle Union. I love everything she's in. If you've seen the show Being Mary Jane, I can't get enough of that. I watch that show as much as possible. I don't think they have new episodes right now, so it hurts. I want to see more. And Issa Rae. I was watching Issa Rae when she was doing that show, The Misadventures of Awkward Black Girl. I was there with her on her first episode. So I feel like I'm a super fan. And now that she has a new movie coming out, I can't wait to see it. What's your favorite person in the world? I will say my best friend is my favorite person. This person has been with me through thick and thin and put up with all my highs and lows and everything in between. So my bestie is definitely my favorite person in the world outside of a family member. I don't want to cause any fights in my family. So my family, you're all number one. And then a very close second will be my best friend. Who is your favorite musician? Celine Dion. Has to be Celine Dion. She's an amazing vocalist, and I love just about all of her songs. What is your favorite childhood memory? So I wasn't always on the path of elegance. And when I was younger, I was very rambunctious and I would climb on trees and do all sorts of wild things. And my favorite memory is building a tree house in our backyard with my siblings and the neighbors. Well, the neighbor kids, not the adult neighbors. We would take wood from different scrapped areas and get nails and hammers. And we didn't have a lot of assistance from the adults. And I really loved that because it gave us the freedom to create the kind of house that we wanted and not the house that the adults felt made sense. Miss Indiana says, have you cultivated new hobbies since School of Affluence? I have cultivated some new hobbies. I will say that I've taken up listening to opera music more. That's one thing. And I have been trying to look at golf. These are not things that come naturally to me. I love opera, but I would never say that I've gone out of my way to listen to it. And I definitely am not a golf fan, but I'm trying to be. So I'm trying to get into more hobbies that affluent people are into. And my first thought is that I don't like them off the bat because I have not been exposed to them. And I've had maybe not the most positive exposure with the things that I've had limited exposure to. So if I expose myself to it constantly and it's positive, then I'll start liking it more than I used to. That's my hope. Beanie85 says, how does your best friend feel about your journey of self improvement? My best friend, well, he likes it. He likes it in general, but he does feel it's a little bit silly. He's not the kind of person who hangs around ladies or people who are trying to be a elegant lady. So it's not his typical crowd, which makes him feel like I'm becoming someone who's more awkward. But with my best friend, I guess I throw a lot of the rules out the window because I know our relationship doesn't have a lot of space for me changing too much. So my old self comes out when I'm with him, and when I'm not with him, I'm back to being more of an elegant lady that I'm trying to be. Question, are you enjoying the new School of Affluence modules and new workbook updates? I think they are such a great detail. Yes, I love updates, especially since I've gone through the original content. The new stuff is just fantastic. I love the new categories that are in there, and I also love the approach to it. It's a fresh approach, and I feel like it really encompasses a lot of the questions that people have been asking Anna for a while now. So it's great that those questions are being answered in the new updates. What is your favorite color? So it used to be red for most of my life, but now it's fuchsia. I started um, helping out a farm in Pennsylvania, and I got the opportunity to be around a lot of different kinds of flowers. And I fell in love with this fuchsia flower and this beautiful, vibrant color. And it's a fuchsia color as well. And I just can't get enough of that color. It's beautiful. What is your favorite cultural activity? Dancing. I love to dance. I'm not the best dancer, but if you put music on, I'll probably start moving. What is your favorite drink? So I really shouldn't be having this drink. It shouldn't be my favorite drink, but steamed peppermint milk. I am lactose intolerant. I shouldn't be consuming dairy products. But if you steam some peppermint milk, oh my goodness, I will drink it all day. What is your favorite fairy tale? Cinderella. I love this. I want to call it a rags to riches story. But she was like this downtrodden young lady who didn't have a lot of hope for her future, but she kept the hope inside, and she kept trying and trying, and then this mercy was shown upon her, and she was given an opportunity to really change her life for the better, and that's amazing. It's very similar to the story of Pursuit of Happiness, where someone is suffering and then they get this magical chance, and now they're doing fantastic. What is your favorite food? This is an easy one. It is curry chicken roti. It's a Guyanese dish. Well, a lot of Caribbean people have this dish, but I love the Guyanese version of it. So curry chicken is a chicken that has a lot of curry all in it. It's been cooked in curry. And then roti is this fried bread like substance, not too far away from a tortilla or naan, not too far away, but it doesn't taste like that. It's delicious, and I could eat that every single day. And in fact, while I've been stuck inside, I've been eating it at least every other day. What's your favorite holiday destination? So, of all the places I've been, I'll definitely say San Francisco is my favorite. The people are so kind and accepting. And for me, one thing that really sticks out to me as a place that I would want to go to, is a place where I feel safe and welcomed. And I felt very welcomed in San Francisco. I had people who, even though it's not the most racially diverse for Black people, I felt very safe. I didn't feel like I was in a place where people wanted me to leave, and people were. I had instances where people were running to open the door for me and saying hello to me in these like grand waves and inviting me out places. It felt so welcoming. And to have experiences that are really negative in Georgia where people haven't been as welcoming, and to go to San Francisco where they are, it was just amazing. It's just amazing. I mean, I love living in Atlanta, specifically Atlanta. There are outskirts in Georgia where I would never dare put my foot because it might not be safe. But in Atlanta, for the most part, I really enjoy being here. But if I have to choose, San Francisco is it. What is your favorite ice cream flavor? Oh, honeysuckle. I had honeysuckle ice cream for the first time when I was in New York, and it was so dreamy. I drifted off into La La Land when I had it. What is your favorite music genre? Folk music. I love that kind of DIY handmade music where somebody's playing the spoons, another person's playing the washboard. Maybe someone has a water jug and they're shaking it with some beans in it. That kind of homemade music I love. What is your favorite physical activity? I at first was going to say yoga, but that doesn't trump me loving flag football. If anyone else has played a game that's just a little bit more aggressive, flag football is exactly like American football, but you wear these little flags that you get to rip off. And while I'm not really interested in the catching or throwing of the football, I am interested in ripping the flags off, and it's so much fun. Rose, have you found out if the nail polish should match both hands and feet? I have not found that out yet. My first thought is yes, because even our house clothing has to match. So I'm assuming that our nails have to match. What is your favorite quote? So my favorite quote is from Jim Rohn, and it is, you can have more than you've got because you can become more than you are. On the flip side, unless you change who you are, you'll always have what you've got. That really speaks to me, and it makes me feel more courageous about venturing out into new frontiers and trying out different opportunities, because if I continue doing the same thing that I've done, I'll always have what I have. And if I continue with the same mindset and not making changes in my life or being unwilling to move, then I shouldn't expect great things in my future. I should only expect what most people have. What is your favorite snack? My favorite snack is a mix of dates and walnuts. I really love natural sugar. Not to say I don't love candy. I do love candy. But dates and walnuts, that combination, if you crunch them up and mix them together, it's so good. And I love snacking on that. What is your favorite song? So this is constantly changing. Right now, it's Taylor Swift's Lover. If you've heard that song, oh, it's hypnotic. I listen to that song over and over again. What is your favorite sport? Gymnastics. What is your favorite time of day? Definitely the morning. When I hear the little birds chirping, it just gets me excited. I think, yes, I made it. I'm living to see another day. That means there's so many opportunities, there's so many more chances for me to do things, and it gets me so excited. What's your favorite type of clothing? I definitely will say flowing clothing, things that flow away. So this dress is a little bit form-fitting at the top, but at the bottom, I don't want to lift it up. But at the bottom, it's really flowy, and I enjoy that. What is your favorite TV show when you were a child? I will say the Power Rangers. I watched so many generations of the Power Rangers. If you're not familiar with them, there are 5 teenagers who get special powers and protect their community and their entire city with these powers. I love that show, and I also love Captain Planet, where it's 5 teenagers. They get special powers, they protect their community, but they also protect the entire world with these powers. The question, is it like mint lace, peppermint milk? Oh, I'll try steamed peppermint milk with nut milk or oat milk. Oh, vegan style. What's in it? Yes. So it's just 2 ingredients. It's the milk and it's the peppermint. It's Absolutely delicious. I have done touches of honey in there, and I have done a touch of vanilla, but you can go straight to the basics with peppermint and milk. Try out a vegan alternative. I have tried soy milk and almond milk, but nothing, in my opinion, beats that cow milk, which is not something I should be consuming at all. Um, but yeah, it's just those two ingredients. Question: are you scared of heights? No, I am not scared of heights, but I am scared of falling from great heights. Are you more likely to avoid conflict or engage in it head on? I am way more likely to avoid conflict like, oop, I was going to say like the plague, but that might be a little too soon to be saying. Um, I try to avoid conflict as much as possible because I feel like if it's not necessary to butt heads with people, then you shouldn't. And if you can go along with the flow, then go ahead. I am not afraid of conflict, however, when it comes to doing something that has to be done, especially when it comes to protecting other people. So if I have to step in front of someone or step in front of a situation in the name of protecting someone, then I will do it. Where I have the most issues is when the conflict is something that is highly avoidable and it would be okay for me to sweep it under the rug. Then I most likely will sweep it under the rug. And that has been questions to get to know me better. If you have more questions for me, please leave them in the comment section. I'd love to answer them. And if you have just comments about yourself, I'd love to get to know you better as well. It's been nice seeing so many people returning to the channel and seeing their comments because I get to become more familiar with you and the kind of things that you enjoy and where your mind is. So if you leave a little tidbit about yourself, or maybe you want to answer a question that I answered, but answer it for you, then please feel free to do that. I've really enjoyed getting to do this. It's really lighthearted and it's made me feel really good. I encourage you, if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, to subscribe it. And if you like this kind of content, or the kind of content I normally make, which is about leveling up, please like this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye!